Cam Ward talks about the New Orleans Saints. Ladies and gentlemen, this video blew my mind. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. So here's the situation. The All-State Sugar Bowl presented the 2024 Manning Award to Miami quarterback Cam Ward. Now, when do you think this happened? Do you think this happened like during the Sugar Bowl, right? Okay, that would all make sense. Do you think it happened during the college football award time, during the Heisman or something? That would make sense too. This happened like yesterday, I think. This happened March 17th. So even though this looks like it happened months ago, this happened just now. So weird time to do this. The Manning Award is a quarterback award given to the college quarterback who best represented the Manning family, basically. It's the only quarterback award that factors in the postseason. Not that that really matters, but so that's the context. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to what Cam Ward had to say during this ceremony.
What that was like?
It was good, especially me coming back another year playing Miami. My teammates, they helped me get to this position. The coaching staff as well, but I just think the history that they have.
Oh, by the way, if you are thinking the audio sounds weird, yeah, it's only coming through one side, whatever that's called. So that it is a little off.
I have just football knowledge-wise, me being able to come to their camp 2 years ago. So, it all worked out.
You had a long road in college. How do you describe it? And obviously it worked out pretty well for you, right?
It's different, I would say.
Fun fact about the Manning Passing Academy, when I was in high school, a really good friend of mine was like the left guard on the high school football team. And he always wanted to be a quarterback. Like, he just loved the idea of being a quarterback. He never played quarterback, but he just, wanted to be a quarterback. And he went to the Manning Passing Academy and, did the whole thing. Did the drills, did whatever. And it's crazy what the Manning Passing Academy has turned into. It's turned into, really, really, really high-level quarterbacks playing, and this is, 2005, what I'm talking about. But just the idea of this, random guy doesn't even play quarterback, just, doing drills with Eli Manning is crazy.
I mean, I'm blessed to go from zero-star recruit to, one of the potentially high draft pick in the NFL draft. I just think everything, that God has for you, everything works out. You just got to pray and work. And, that's what I did, going from UIW to Wazoo to Miami. So, it's just a team award right here. Just got my name on it. But I just think, it's starting to, pour into, every teammate that I had in the past who's helped me get to this point.
Do you think that journey that you talked about from Incarnate Word to Wazoo to obviously Miami, do you think that's helped you become a better quarterback, and how?
I think it's helped me. Well, it's helped me every year, my journey, I would say. But I just think it helped me to approach the game a certain way, a certain mindset every game. No matter whether you're better than the team or if you feel like you're not a better team. I just think the way you have to approach each and every situation, whether it's going to a new building, going to a new game week, game planning, I just think everything, happens from the mental side, and that's something that I got better at, throughout my 4 or 5 years of college.
I think there is something to, in today's college football, in the landscape, a negative is that the portal is so accessible to where a player can go from team to team to team to team with relatively no trouble at all. Just year to year to year to year, they can take an NIL deal here, whatever. But a positive, if you're an NFL team, is that you get to see the player adapt to multiple situations. You get to see the player adapt to geographics, Washington State to Miami is about as different as it gets. In some situations you get to see the player adapt to scheme and different types of teammates and different types of competition and different coaching and things like that. So it gives you more of an idea of how well-rounded they are. Not too long ago, I remember some players, it was so unknown because they would grow up in Mobile, then they would go to Alabama and they'd stay there, and there would be real questions of what happens if they leave Alabama? What happens if they leave the city? How will they adapt to leaving the region? How will they adapt to being coached by someone that isn't Nick Saban, or whoever the coach may be at the time? So that is a benefit, and there is something to that with Cam Ward being able to go virtually wherever and be highly successful.
You literally will have twice as many starts as a lot of, college quarterbacks entering the draft. How much of that is an advantage? I mean, did you maybe need that personally? But you got a lot of snaps in college, didn't you?
Yeah, I just think it goes back to the journey. Not one quarterback in this class was a 0-star recruit. They was all rated. I think I'm different than every one of them. I approach every situation different from every one of them. So, I think I can stand out just from physical traits, but I think my mindset is what stands out the biggest for me and every other quarterback. But I just think just all the different journeys that each quarterback in this draft had to go through is what makes us different. It's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. I'm trying to be the best one at the end of the day.
So I've seen a few videos of Cam Ward where he's training, and he is a workhorse. I'll give him that. Like, he is very serious. He is very intentional. He is very focused. Like, I mean, you never know. Those are curated videos. You never know how it actually plays out, but it seems like he is all in. Like, he takes all that stuff very, very seriously, which obviously if you're drafting a quarterback, that's what you want.
Well, whenever anyone talks about the NFL draft, usually the first name that comes up is yours. How has the pre-draft process kind of been for you?
It's been fun, especially, me trying to accomplish a lifelong dream, meeting with teams, getting able to create new connections, learn NFL terminology. So, it's been a good journey so far.
What would it mean to you to be the first overall pick?
It wouldn't mean anything to me. The pick is never anything. If someone wants to be known for a pick, they're not playing for the right reasons. So I think it's just a testament of God and my teammates to put me in that position to be the number one pick. And at the end of the day, you got to go prove it every Sunday, no matter where you're playing the best team in the league or the worst team in the league. It's all grown men out there, and you got to hold up yours.
I mean, that was an insanely good answer. Insanely good answer. That right there, I mean, you hear something like that, it's okay, take him first overall. Okay, I've heard enough. Like, that is it's hard to have a better mindset than that. Straight up, just like, I don't care about the pick at all. It doesn't mean nothing to me. I don't put anything into being the first overall pick. That is impressive.
A lot of players might look at you as an example of, the recruiting process gets so much coverage these days and the hype going around that, but yet here you are, a guy that's going to probably get drafted here very high without being a part of that recruiting cycle. I mean, what would your message be to young players that maybe coming up in a similar situation you, they're worried about
keep working,
not having enough stars on their resume?
To not worry about stars, only work.
There you go.
If you look at the NFL, it's a lot of 0 to 3 star who make it longer than the 4 or 5 stars. So you just got to be able to willing to work everybody each and every day. A lot of the rating sites, they're all fake anyways. It's just somebody trying to, get somebody's name out so they can say they're the first ones to spot them.
All very true.
So, that would be something that I would preach to the kids, so don't worry about that. At the end of the day, if you got a dream, you got to go accomplish it. It's only 2 people, who get you there. That's yourself and that's God.
You play with that chip a little bit? Like, is that part of, like, your secret sauce of what makes you go, is that you play with the idea that, you weren't a big recruit? Like, is that part of your success?
Yeah,
working
for sure.
through that?
For sure. I walk with it every day. Every time I step on the field, I think I'm the best player, and I live by that every day. My quarterback coach, he gets me, the right preparation that I need in the off season, especially the things we're working on now. So I just think the more that I'm willing to do on my end, and then eventually do that to help my team win, I think it'll all work out.
It was reported that you met with the Saints at the Combine. What was that meeting like, and what did you think of kind of their brass? Any specifics you can share about that?
So it's very routine. Okay, so I want to, if you haven't heard this, it's very, very routine for teams to meet with like all the prospects, or it helps you. There's so many benefits to it. It helps you learn. If you feel like you could potentially play against this guy, then obviously interviewing them, getting to know them is a positive. But it also, people will use this to learn about teammates, so learn about all of that. So there's a lot of different reasons why a team may meet with a player. So if you hear the Saints met with Cam Ward, it's not like, oh my God, are they interested in drafting Cam Ward? I'm sure they're going through their due process and all that stuff. They're going through their due diligence, but there's a lot of other reasons. So don't get caught up in that headline.
Well, it's a great meeting, especially, if you get a chance to go play with a Super Bowl coach like Coach Moore. He knows how to dial up the playbook. But I just think the biggest thing that I took away from that meeting is that you just got to be prepared at all times, whether you go in as a starter or you go in as a backup. You never know when your number's going to be called. But it was a great meeting with them. You know, the Saints, they were one of my favorite teams growing up when I was little. I love watching Drew Brees and Colston out there. So, you know, it'll be a dream of mine to play for them, you know, if I get a chance someday. But that's not really my main focus right now.
It's kind of crazy because I know he's answering this question in New Orleans, like part of this Sugar Bowl thing, part of the Manning fan. I understand all that, but like there has been zero link to Cam Ward and the New Orleans Saints. The Saints have the 9th overall pick. Could they theoretically get up to first overall and take Cam Ward? Sure, right? Are they going to? I would say probably not. But is it impossible? No. But it is kind of interesting that we're not that far from the draft. And the projected first overall pick is even mentioning playing for the Saints. Like when I first heard this is a very confusing interview. I'm not going to lie. Not the interview, but just like when I heard it all come through. Because I heard this quote and I'm like, why the hell is Cam Ward talking about playing for the Saints? And then I was like, oh, well, this must have been this must have been months ago before he was the obvious first overall pick. Oh, no, this was actually this week. It's like, well, we're a month away from the draft. It's a crazy thing. You know, we're sitting here, we're like, oh, yeah, Ted McMillan. Oh, yeah, Mason Graham. Oh, yeah, like all these other random people. It's like, oh, yeah, the Saints may take him at 9, whatever. And then you hear the guy in the draft come out and say, yeah, it'd be a dream to play for the Saints. Wait, what? Like, yeah, if I got the chance to play for him, they'd be fantastic. Excuse me? Yeah, Drew Brees is my favorite player growing up. What's going on here? I mean, think about it. How insane would it seems like clickbait. Does it not? Doesn't it seem like if I told you, if you see a video, which probably will be the title of this video, Cam Ward, it would be a dream to play for the Saints. You'd be like, what is this clickbait? What is this clickbait video? What you know, like, what's going on here? No, he actually said it. No, this actually happened. Let's hear it again.
Growing up when I was little, I love watching the meeting. Is that you just got to be prepared at all times, whether you go in as a starter or you go in as a backup. You never know when your number's going to be called. But it was a great meeting with them. You know, the Saints, they were one of my favorite teams growing up when I was little. I love watching Drew Brees and Colston out there. So, you know, it'll be a dream of mine to play for them. You know, if I get a chance someday.
It would be a dream to play for the Saints if I got a chance someday. What the hell's going on, brother? You're the first overall pick. Like, you're the top quarterback in the draft. Now, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. I mean, crazy stuff happens in sports, no doubt about it. But could you imagine? Imagine if Shedeur Sanders gets taken first overall. Some insane thing. Cam Ward slides. Saints are sitting there, trade up to like 6, take Cam Ward. And all of a sudden, we're sitting here talking about Cam Ward, the franchise quarterback of the Saints. Like, it's just, again, I don't think it'll happen, but it is fun to think about. Crazy stuff. This is really the first time I've really listened to Cam Ward. I watched a lot of Miami last year, so I've seen him play a lot. But the first time I've really sat and listened to him, because during the draft process for the Saints, he hasn't really been on the board. So we've been focusing on a lot of other players and not so much Cam. But listening to him talk, I mean, you know, it's not. I'm not surprised that teams are impressed with him. You know, we heard during the draft, during the combine, and during that whole time when all we're talking about is the draft, is I kept hearing how impressed teams were leaving their interviews with Cam Ward and how he was just a mature, well-spoken, all that. Yeah, and I'm not surprised at all. Listening to this, I'm pretty sold. So he is going to be the first quarterback taken. Whether he is the first overall pick, we don't know yet. Obviously, you never know. The Titans could go Abdul Carter. Teams could trade up. There could be movement. All of that. But I am pretty damn sure he will be the first quarterback taken, and it seems like whoever takes him will be getting a hell of a guy. So I would love for the Saints to get Cam Ward. Would love it. Again, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's possible. But wild interview to listen to. So, but there you go. Let me know what you think, what you thought about this. Is it something? Is it nothing? Am I the best in the world? Yes. I will see you in the next video.